Pardon, you can't even let me speak, you idiot. Sorry. Go ahead.
And you speak, you fucking idiot.
On that one. Hey, you guys are so dumb. You got me only 16.
Dave, you got 16.
This whole story centers around one of the most controversial streamers on the internet right now, Jack Doherty, and how his actions both online and off camera sparked massive backlash. What started as attention-grabbing content quickly turned into something way more serious, with people calling him out for reckless behavior, chasing viral moments at any cost, and crossing lines just to stay relevant. On top of that, claims from his ex-girlfriend exposed what she says really happened behind the scenes, adding even more fuel to an already chaotic situation that keeps getting worse. What used to pass as content now just feels like pure desperation on display. Things took a serious turn when his ex-girlfriend came forward with a huge 5-hour interview, laying everything out about what she claims really happened behind closed doors. She described a relationship that wasn't just toxic, but deeply controlling. According to her, the affection didn't feel real, contracts and NDAs kept her locked in place, and everything revolved around how much money he could squeeze out of the situation. And while all of that was blowing up, Jack didn't slow down for a second. Instead of responding or clearing anything up, he kept moving reckless, forcing his way into events he wasn't even invited to, clashing with other creators and saying the most outrageous things just to go viral and stay in the spotlight.
Literally was excited over the fact that we were going to make the most money we have ever made in our lives. It wasn't because he was excited to have a baby with me and have a family and start a new era.
At this point, it feels like respect isn't even part of the plan anymore. It's all about going viral no matter the cost. Every move looks calculated for attention, even if it comes off messy or uncomfortable to watch. And the wild part is, this didn't just pop up overnight. Jack Doherty has been building this kind of reputation for a long time now. He first blew up by bothering random people in public, pushing reactions out of strangers, then falling back behind security the second things got tense. Then came the streams packed with adult creators, awkward moments, and non-stop chaos that kept escalating. What some people once called entertaining slowly started to feel off, and over time, that curiosity flipped into straight-up dislike. Now it's gotten to a point where when something goes wrong for him, people don't feel sympathy at all, they celebrate it. You'll literally see comments like, "Every day when Jack is having a bad day is a good day, and when I saw he lost everything, I smiled." That kind of response doesn't just come out of nowhere. It builds piece by piece from repeated actions that push people away. And the last time he went viral didn't help his image either. He allegedly tried to stage a robbery. Things spiraled publicly after his breakup, and the situation got so chaotic that he even called the police in the middle of it all.
We were not hiding anywhere. Like, we were in a party bus, like very out in the open. And I was sitting in my seat, every type of thing, freaking out, so much anxiety. And then I hear the car door open, and I pop my head up, and I'm like, okay, everyone's back, like, finally time to go. When I looked up from the seat, I make eye contact with the guy I'd never seen before, any surgical mask. Like, it wasn't the two guys in shiesties that I had seen, it was a guy with a bag, a gun.
The whole situation came off forced, messy, and honestly just hard to watch without cringing. People already had guesses about why McKinley Richardson walked away, but no one expected things to be this serious behind the scenes. That's when everything really started to blow up in a major way. In October 2025, McKinley showed up on a podcast hosted by Camilla Rouge, someone who had also been close to Jack's circle before. So this wasn't just some random interview popping up out of nowhere. The conversation was split into 2 long parts, and it was packed with claims that painted a completely different image of him than what people were used to seeing online. A huge part of what she talked about came down to one thing: his obsession with content. Not just posting videos, but pushing every single moment to the extreme, just to pull in more views no matter how far it goes. People had already started noticing signs of that behavior before all this came out. Like the time he crashed his McLaren, instead of focusing on safety or checking on his injured friend, he reportedly grabbed the camera and started filming right away. One comment even claimed he crashed at 71 miles per hour while reading chat on a rainy highway, then handed the camera to his injured friend just to keep things rolling. That alone had people calling his actions disturbing, but somehow it didn't even stop there. McKinley also brought up another moment from August during one of those takeover events in Los Angeles, the kind packed with huge crowds, street racing, and non-stop chaos everywhere you look, where things can spiral out of control fast.
Your stuff?
I think!
What the fuck?
Oh no, I said first my baggies to get your fucking bag!
He took your purse?
I don't know!
McKinley, where?
Oh my god!
Where's the key? Where's the key?
I can't-
Okay.
That was the most real trauma.
After hitting multiple spots that night, she decided to stay back on the tour bus because something just didn't feel right. That gut feeling turned real fast. While she was alone, someone got inside, and in that moment, it was straight fear. Thankfully, things didn't escalate further, but her belongings were taken, and it easily could have gone in a much worse direction. After everything, she called Jack, clearly shaken and trying to process what just happened. But instead of focusing on her safety or checking if she was okay, he reportedly treated the whole situation like content. Even when she asked him to stop filming, he kept the camera rolling. For her, that moment was serious and scary, but for him, it looked like just another chance to go viral. And it didn't stop there either. She also brought up an older stream from November 2023, where he flipped a golf cart while she was sitting right next to him, adding even more to the pattern she was describing.
He was toxic in the beginning. Why was I with him? But he wasn't. He was amazing. And I want people to know that, like, I didn't put myself in a toxic situation, but he was so different in the beginning. And I know, like, what people see of him online, like, it's obviously negative and all this stuff, but that wasn't who I fell for. It was not that. It was a protector. It was a provider. It was someone that had respect for me and, you know, just made sure I was okay and opening the car door for me, taking me out to dinner, very respectful.
At the time, people brushed it off as reckless or just a bad accident. But according to her, it wasn't random at all. It was intentional. That claim alone changed how a lot of people started looking at everything. What made it hit even harder was how he handled things right after. She says he acted like it was no big deal, brushed it off, and even tried to convince her she was fine when she clearly wasn't. It wasn't until she went to the hospital by herself that he showed up, and even then it didn't feel like real concern. It felt like he was there to film and capture more content. On camera, everything looked calm and normal, but behind the scenes, she described arguments getting way out of control and situations that didn't match the polished image people were seeing online. So now the big question is, how did it even reach this point? And that's where things start to get more complicated, because in the beginning, she says it felt completely different. He treated her well, made her feel safe, and actually made her feel valued. There was a time when she genuinely believed in the relationship and could picture a real future with him, which makes everything that came later feel even more shocking.
A-t-il la réputation d'homme le plus détesté d'Internet?
And everyone's so quick to put some shit on me on social media. No one's gone through what I gone through just now. Like, I literally almost died in a car accident.
Jack Doherty, c'est un petit peu l'archétype de l'enfant star qui dévisse complètement. En fait, ce qu'il a fait connaître, c'est...
Even knowing how he acted online, she believed that version of him didn't carry over into their private life. She really thought there was a clear line between his internet persona and how he treated her behind the scenes. She even admitted she was okay with parts of his lifestyle. As long as she wasn't pulled into it, that was her boundary. But over time, things didn't stay the same. His priorities started to show more clearly, and everything kept circling back to content and money. And the moment she pushed back or tried to set limits, that's when things allegedly began to shift. The pressure didn't hit all at once. It built slowly, consistently, until it became impossible for her to ignore anymore. If everything she said in that podcast is true, it starts to explain a lot about the early stages of their relationship. What looked like genuine care in the beginning starts to feel more strategic, like building trust, getting close, and creating a sense of safety that could later be used for bigger plans. From that perspective, it doesn't come off as random kindness, but something more calculated tied to growth and business. After talking things through with him, she believed she could change his mind and avoid getting pulled deeper into that world, holding on to the idea that things wouldn't go too far.
Just start laughing. I didn't think it was funny. I guess they were just like, because Jack had never brought up OnlyFans to me, so it was like, because he made everyone else do it. Very awkward. Yeah, he made everyone else do it. Which was, it's sad looking back on it because that was something I respected. I was like, I respect the fact that he cares about my beliefs and he understands that.
But according to her side of the story, Jack already had things mapped out way ahead of time. Even if there wasn't direct force involved, the situation around it paints a very different picture when you really look at it. When someone is constantly under pressure, emotionally pulled in, and made to feel like they owe something, it becomes a lot easier to agree to things you're not fully comfortable with. That's where it starts to feel less like a fair choice and more like being pushed into a corner. And the contract itself didn't ease anything either. It reportedly gave him control over her social platforms and a significant cut of her future earnings. For McKinley, that's when everything started going downhill fast. In the beginning, she described that intense love-bombing energy, constant attention, non-stop affection, everything feeling almost too perfect to question. But the moment she signed, she says that version of him disappeared completely, like a switch flipped overnight, and everything changed.
Access to my accounts and all of this stuff, the disrespect started showing. Like, he was not as respectful as he was in the beginning. A dinner, you could forget about it. We never went on dates. We never did anything like how we did in the past. He was strictly just, content. So I was like, how do you keep up with all of this stuff?
The focus shifted fast, straight to money, content, and how much he could get out of her. And that's when she says another side of him started showing up too, one that felt way more concerning. According to her, he had a serious issue with prescription stimulants, even though there wasn't a clear medical reason for it, and she claims it didn't just affect him alone. She said that same high-pressure lifestyle got pushed onto people around him, including her, just to keep up with the non-stop content grind. When you look at it like that, it starts to explain a lot. The constant energy, the chaos, the need to always be on and grabbing attention. Like one comment put it, addicted to drugs plus addicted to attention. That line hits hard when you stack everything together because it paints a picture that feels intense and unstable at the same time. But even that wasn't the full story. She also claimed he cheated, flirted openly with other women right in front of her, and constantly put her down both on and off camera. From her perspective, the relationship didn't feel genuine at all. It felt like everything revolved around money, content, and control. And nothing made that clearer than one moment she described that ended up changing everything between them completely.
I'm exhausted. Like, how does your life, like, how do you continue to do this? And he was like, it's Adderall. Like, you should try. He's like, you will be successful. I'm not proud of it at all, but I had a horrible Adderall addiction dating him because of him telling me I needed to keep up with him. And also, it's like when Jack's face is somewhere, I was always there. I had to keep up with him.
At one point, she said she got a positive pregnancy test. And for most people, that kind of news is serious and emotional, something that can change everything between two people. It's the kind of moment where you expect real reactions, real conversations, maybe even a shift in priorities. But according to her, that's not how it played out at all. She expected something genuine, maybe even support or concern. But instead, she claims his first thoughts went straight back to content and planning. Even though he was honest about where his head was at, that honesty ended up hitting her in a completely different way. It became a wake-up call she couldn't ignore. After talking things through with people she trusted, she decided not to continue with the pregnancy, saying she didn't want to bring a child into that kind of environment. That moment became a major turning point for her, giving her the clarity and motivation to start pulling away from everything that had been building up around her. Now, before going any further, it's important to keep things balanced. While a lot of Jack's behavior has been visible online for years, not every claim from that podcast came with clear proof. Some people have pointed that out, questioning parts of her story and certain decisions made after the relationship ended, adding more layers to an already complicated situation. At the same time, a huge part of the internet is still willing to believe her, mainly because of his past behavior and the patterns people feel they've already seen. For a lot of viewers, it lines up too closely to ignore. A clear response from Jack Doherty could settle things one way or another, but so far he hasn't really addressed it directly, and staying silent doesn't seem to be helping at all. The backlash has been non-stop. No matter where he posts, YouTube, TikTok, anywhere, the comment sections are flooded with people calling him out and demanding accountability. And it's not just noise either, it's actually affecting his numbers. Videos that used to pull huge views are now struggling to hit the same level they once did, and that drop is hard to ignore. And it hasn't stayed online either. He's been getting called out in real life too, which made things even more intense. One of the biggest moments came when he tried to sneak into TwitchCon by using one of the women with him to distract security. It worked for a second, but not for long. Within minutes, security caught up and removed him from the event completely. That whole plan to create chaos and go viral completely backfired, but instead of stepping back, he doubled down and started saying more offensive things just to pull attention back his way. When Peach Jars called him out, he tried to turn it into a bigger moment, but she didn't engage and simply walked away. That only made the situation look more one-sided and awkward for him. And then things escalated even further. Soulja Boy, often referred to online as Soulja, approached him in the crowd and started pressing him about past crypto-related issues and claims involving fans allegedly losing money, turning the situation even more tense in front of everyone. That pressure clearly started getting to him, because not long after, he lashed out again, making the situation even more intense. And it didn't stop there either. Things just kept stacking up. Another creator, Ken Joseph, confronted him right in front of a crowd, and it turned into a seriously awkward moment fast. It put him on the spot in a way that was hard to brush off, and the whole thing ended up being embarrassing in real time. Then it got even bigger when that moment was shared online, reaching a much wider audience and adding even more attention to everything already going on.
I told him, and he didn't seem surprised whatsoever. He was like, W. He literally was excited over the fact that we were going to make the most money we have ever made in our lives. It wasn't because he was excited to have a baby with me and have a family and start a new era of our life. It was, oh my gosh, we're gonna start a family YouTube channel and you're going to make so much money when you're pregnant and you have a pregnant belly.
All of this went down in a single night, and every moment just made things spiral even worse for him. One situation stacked on top of another until it felt like everything was collapsing in real time. At this point, he's basically turned into the internet's punching bag. People walk right up to him, say whatever they want to his face, and the crowd cheers it on like it's part of the show. But even with all that public pressure, it still doesn't equal real consequences for everything that's been said about him.
No.
I got him. Hey, yo, you don't want to go neither. Back up. I'm just saying I got him. Back up. Don't worry about it. Back up. Yo, back up. Yo. Where you going? Back up.
Chill. Go on the sidewalk now. Go on the sidewalk now. You want to go with him?
I want to be fucking funny.
Go on the sidewalk now.
I want to be funny. You're trying to get on the street. Go on the fucking street. I don't know who the fuck you think you are, bro.
I'm getting out.
No, you're fucking not.
He was trying.
After I fucking do this, who the fuck are you, bro?
I was trying to walk up the street, but
Doesn't matter, bro. All you had to do was get in the fucking sidewalk. That's it.
For a second, though, it looked like that might finally change. On November 15th, he was arrested in Florida for possession of illegal substances, which many people believe were the same stimulants mentioned earlier. He tried to stay calm and act like it wasn't serious, but this time, there was no security stepping in to smooth things over. It felt like a reality check happening right in front of everyone, but just as quickly as it happened, he was released on bail less than a day later, and almost immediately went back online like nothing changed. That said, the situation isn't completely over. He could still be facing serious legal trouble, with the possibility of major consequences if things continue down that path. And even if that doesn't happen, even if he ends up walking away with a lighter punishment, the damage to his reputation is already locked in. At this point, the hit to his image is hard to reverse, and his career looks like it's slipping faster by the day, and people aren't tuning in because they support him anymore. They're watching to laugh, to criticize, to catch the next moment where everything goes wrong. The attention is still there, but it's coming from a completely different place now. And that shift says a lot. And once even that kind of attention fades, there's not much left to fall back on. So if you've been keeping up with everything, make sure to like, subscribe, share, and drop your thoughts down below. I want to hear what you think about all of this.